nice. Okay. 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 All right. We are 30 now. We are 31, 31 participants. Continue. Let's go. Zero. Okay. So again, quick one again. If you have bicycle, we are riding bicycle at this moment, just say yes. If you are not, type no. If you have a bicycle, you own a bicycle at this period, type yes. And if you are not, just type no. A rich kid everywhere. Rich kid. Oh. Okay. So another one. If you have solar, if you are at home now and you have solar inverter or panels, you are using renewable energy at home, say yes. If you are not, type no. So you people are not using inverter. Oh, nice. So let's really get into it. We really don't have the time again. We're 34. So let me share my screen, then I will quickly run us through it. I hope it's so. You all can see my screen, right? You're welcome to this evening session. My name is Samilabu Ayodeji. Of course, we were given assignment this morning that we should find out about renewable energy and sustainable development. Sorry, about climate change. We should read about climate change and sustainable development. So I believe I call you brainies. Good evening, the brainies. Congratulations to you thus far that you are still here, still making it to be here. It's not easy when you're here. So quickly, who can tell me what climate change or what climate is? What weather is? Do you stand there for your own language, your own term? Just like this, what do you think climate is? Okay, I'm reading from overall. Okay, 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 okay. It shows that all of you did your research and you're on top of it. So yeah, in summary, climate represents the long-term average of weather patterns over an extended period, reflecting the overall climate characteristics of a region. So when we say climate characteristics, it can be rain, it can be harmattan, it can be heat, it can be any of those climate characteristics. For this time around, it has to be over a very long period of time. Why on the other hand, whether is regard to short-term and immediate atmospheric conditions observed at a particular moment or over a relatively brief period. So weather in the morning might not be the same weather in the evening, night, in the afternoon. Weather in Suka might not be the same thing in Port or in Lagos or outside Nigeria. So now we understand this. But climate and weather. Weather is just short period then. Climate is very, very, very. Moving on. It's just what to just explain right away. So, what is climate change? A lot of us have defined that in the group chat. I saw it, and I love the fact that we took it about to even make efforts to read about it. It's very, very brilliant of you. So, climate change is a change in the average temperature and cycle of weather over a very long period. Oh, we all know what causes this climate change. We've done it. It's anthropogenic activity, human activities. It made the research today. So since 1880, when scientists have been keeping thermometer base of global surface temperature, what is happening to global temperature? And of course, the planet is becoming more warmer. Climate is changing. From 1880 to this moment, they've been studying the average temperature of the globe of the Earth, and they know that it's not the same for the previous year. So just recently, they said that we're having a very hot weather or hot month in this year that will not experience that kind of hotness before. But now it's happening. So that's the chart. So why is climate change a problem? Have you ever asked this question? Have you ever asked yourself, why is climate change a problem? Is it not God's doing? Is it why are we challenging God? Why are we doing? Why are we challenging natural effects? So have you ever done that? Have you ever questioned that? Answer that seriously. So over millions of years, species have become adapted to survive in conditions in which they live. Because a stable climate supports this process and allows living things to thrive. We all adapt, even as human beings. We all adapt to a certain condition of the weather. Now people are they are building sustainable houses nowadays. Instead of one window, you tend to put like 3 or 4 windows so that you can have proper ventilation. So we are adapting to this climate change that we are facing. So if the climate changes quickly, organisms don't have enough time to adapt to new conditions and may no longer be able to survive. So because this climate change has been a gradual process over the years, 1880, we've been able to adapt. But at this moment, we cannot even predict what will happen in the next few minutes, not talk about next year. It can rain now and the whole place will flood. So to adapt, to mitigate, is very, very difficult. That's why you can see that people are now talking about loss and damage. We are now moving from mitigation and adaptation to loss and damages. Of course, when we cannot mitigate, when we cannot adapt again, anything, the after effect, the aftermath, what happens? What happens? That's loss and damaging. So who now pays for this? How do we adapt to loss damages? How do we mitigate loss damages? So we cannot mitigate climate change at this moment. If as we are going now, we cannot even adapt to everything because the condition of the climate is changing quickly. It's not only animals that can, even human beings not survive. So why is climate change a problem continues? Climate change disrupts weather pattern and causes extreme weather events to become more common. So now people now see it wave as normal thing. Okay, by the time you in Europe now, they now have something that you can just come to cool your body or enter the water and now. You now see it as common thing, of course. Okay, we are here, we are here. So this include hurricane activity, drought, and flood. So people are now adapting to it. They are now seeing this, they are not adapting, they're now seeing it as common stuff. You understand? So rising temperature are causing sea level to increase, and the implication of this is flooding, of course. It's, if you are Yoruba, we call it Omiyale Agbaraya, it's flooding, and this flooding causes damages, cause loss of life, loss of property. Especially people that are staying in coastal area, riverine area, those are the people that they, they are facing this criminal problem. These are the people that this is affecting. And out of these people, it's now more affecting the women amongst them. Understand? Affecting the women. Now, when I say loss, when I say property, we're not only talking about landed property or house, we're talking about food security here. Because if land has been flooded by incursion from the oceans, from flooding from the nearby rivers, there is no way the crops grow. Of course, before we wash all the crops. And that's where we have food insecurity, hunger. We know what that leads to, poverty. So rising sea level are driven by two main processes. One, ice melt, when the atmosphere then thermal expansion. As ocean water gets warmer, it expands, and this would cause sea level to rise. Especially again, this affects people that are staying in coastal areas, and we have them a lot in Nigeria. Not only in Nigeria, but the world, over 70% of mass of the world is covered by water. So a lot of people are making their livelihood from around the coastal area, and this climate change as a problem is causing a lot of wahala, a lot of problems at this point. Now, you say we that we live in Ghana, we that we live in on the mountain, like me, I'm in Enugu, right? Enugu means on top of the mountain. How does flooding affect us? How does sea caution affect us? I just explained it. When these people at the river and cannot go to the farm, cannot have farm produce, of course, it's coming to what I used to have, what I used to be available. What I used to have, I used to have in Nandi will now be very, very difficult for me to get. Here you get. So now, cause food insecurity. Then again, can cause insecurity. Climate change leads to insecurity. So why is climate change a problem continues? The increase in global temperature is causing reduction in sea ice. This causes problem for animals that depend on the ice to warm. And we, from our discussion from the day one till now, we've been talking about biodiversity, especially the day one when we talk about ecosystem and ecosystem. You understand? We all live together as one. That's how it's supposed to be. So if one of these organisms are having problems, yeah, it will definitely affect us. Don't say maybe the polar bear at the North Pole, that since you're not even at the North Pole, you're in Africa, not even so Mars, this affects us, globally. It will affect the it's the balance of your body part, it will affect it, and it will affect us. So it's very, very important that we all face this problem and try as much as possible to solve this problem by this change. Sorry about that. Sorry, I think the network. So where last did you hear me, please? Just Ramat, Gigi rather. So where did I
Hi,
stop so that I
Gisam.
can?
Hi, Gisam.
Yeah.
Good evening. Yeah, so majority were complaining, and even I myself, apparently since the beginning of the presentation, the flow has not really been there. So maybe you can possibly ask them one or two questions to know where to pick up from, please. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So, but I saw the message that some people are hearing me, and I'm actually using the system. I can hear myself clearly. But is it clear now? Can you hear me now? Everybody, use the chat room, please, and just tell me where I stop away. Do I need to move back a bit? Okay, so I'll be shouting a literally maybe network. So I was still on the why is climate change a problem? You understand? And I'm still talking about the um, melting of the ice and thermal expansion. Then I move on to the ice reduction. Melting of the ice is a problem for everyone, regardless of people that are at the polar region. Understand? So because it's reflected 80% of the sunlight from the sun, it's reflected back to the space. And if this ice sheet melted, there would be nothing to reflect back the sunlight. That's why sun. So quickly, let us look at this picture, right? So in 1981, the orange line, that orange line that you're seeing, that was where the ice was. That was where the ice was covered. I'm not far from the speaker, but can everybody hear me? I can hear myself very clearly here. Hello? But some people are hearing me clearly. Yeah. Okay, so let me continue. The white ice shows the minimum sea ice coverage in 2020. So the white space that we are having at this moment now, it shows the. Hello, is it better now? Is it better now? Okay, so let me quickly continue then. So the difference between the two is that it has said 1 million miles. I mean, since 1981 to 2010, it was just 2010. So this only white place. This is only where we have the ice covering at the moon at 2010. So why is climate change a problem? No matter how fast we act, the global temperature sets continue. Hmm? Sets continue rising as a result of greenhouse gases. And thank God a lot of this stuff you read about greenhouse gases this afternoon. So there are They are already in the atmosphere. They are not going anywhere. That's the funniest thing. All the emissions that we've been emitting for the past years since industrial revolution, all these emissions are still in the atmosphere. We've not been able to develop a technology that will trap them, that will capture them. So that's why I say the temperature we continue to rise. The problem that we are already experiencing are going to get worse. If care is not taken. Understand? So this is Aitoro. I love using this place because it's something that maybe very, very particular to plug in Nigeria. So I found that. So this is his own town being ravaged by sea incursion. Understand? Aitoro in those states. And we can actually link it to melting ice. So adding quickly to keep the temperature rise to minimum is certainly very important for everybody, both human, wildlife, plants. So how much different do you think 0.5 increase in global temperature can be? Just think about it. So why is climate change problem? Climate change are causing coral bleaching. Now we know that coral is one of the most respected biodiversity that sink CO2, that sink these emissions. Species lost. Because of this climate change, we are losing a lot of species that are supposed to promote food security, like bees, droughtness, and then the rise in sea level that I just showed us. So what causes climate change? As red carbon dioxide, CO2, methane, water vapor. These are all greenhouse gases. They are all found in the atmosphere. You understand? They are there, they've been there, they will always be there. So energy travels from the sun down to the earth. And I said the other time that most of this sun have been reflected back to the space, right? So instead of this reflected energy, reflected sunlight to leave the atmosphere, to leave space, these gases, these greenhouse gases, we trap them. You understand? Yes, it's not saying all these gases are bad. They are there to regulate the warmth of the earth. Instead of having just 4 greenhouse gases, now we're having 13, 15. Now imagine, they'll be trapping the heat and the earth will get warmer every now and then. And we keep producing these gases, we keep emitting them every now and then. So I've just explained that. Let me continue. So the higher the proportion of greenhouse gas in the atmosphere, the more radiation is absorbed. Just what I explained. This causes the rise in the temperature of the earth, and it's known as greenhouse effect. So what I just explained earlier was greenhouse effect, the act of trapping the greenhouse, trapping the radiation that's supposed to escape the earth. You understand? And this keep getting making the earth more warmer. So these activities are called greenhouse effect. This increase and this greenhouse effect, they increase the temperature of the earth, and this drives climate change. So climate change can be caused by natural processes or suddenly by large events such as massive meteorite. That's right. During the dinosaur era, you understand, we had the story that all the dinosaurs, that was sudden. But however, the rapid change that we are experiencing now is due to 3 main human activities. This one is not a more long, it's not God's doing, it is us that we are doing ourselves, you understand? And they say that it's on 3 main human activities. One of them is burning of fossil fuel for heating, cooking, generating electricity, and powering vehicles. All this release carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. Deforestation, the plant that's supposed to be absorbing these gases, cutting them down. You understand? You know the implication of that. Then reduction of the biodiversity. This creates an unstable ecosystem. Nature loss leads to ecosystems that are less able to capture carbon from the like coral reef that I just mentioned. Then again, we are celebrating mangrove. Mangrove is a very component of absorbing the emissions that we are emitting to. So people are now reclaiming mangrove to build houses, to build industries that will keep emitting these gases again. You understand? Instead of us to protect this area so that they can try, or at least they can absorb this carbon dioxide that we are emitting to the atmosphere. So this has been who causes climate change? The 15 least developed countries are thought to have contributed 1% of the greenhouse gases that have caused global warming. The 15 least countries, just 1%. Nigeria, we are not even contributing. As Africa, we are not even contributing anything as high as the USA, EU, and China. You can see the chart here. You can see where Africa is. You can see where South America is not. See Asia and see North America and Europe. So, who does climate change affect? In a nutshell, it affects everybody. In most cases, the West, that is the wettest country, of course, they be able to provide palliative and other stuff. For the poorer countries, we are less privileged. Of course, we are not adapted to climate change. We are now at the face of loss and damages. You understand? If flooding should happen, they will move people in America to a safe place, but in Nigeria, we rather die. In fact, we died before they even knew that flood has happened. You understand? We lost a lot of lives before they can even be thinking of what to do. So, who can fix it? So, this is why we are here. Government can make laws, policies that reduce the amount of greenhouse gases. Subsidy is one of the policies, like subsidy removal on the petrol and fossil fuel. It's one of them. You now see that we have less cars in our streets, especially in Nigeria. Understand? And again, it will promote eco-friendly activities. You get it? To promote eco-friendly activities. If they should come and take measurements of carbon dioxide emission in Nigeria for the past 4 weeks, it should have been reduced from the last one, the one they took maybe 2 or 3 months ago from last year. Very sure of that. So we can also use our voice to let business governments know that we want them to reduce their impact on climate change. Yes, when we are talking about this subsidy removal policy that I did, and a lot of people approve it, they accept it, they love it, especially when you are an environmentalist. But personally, I love the fact that it was removed because it will have ripple effect on the climate long run. So, who can tell me just quickly the importance of subsidizing renewable energy? Quickly, in our chat box, the implication, the importance of subsidizing renewable energy. I'm waiting for. This now, I don't have time. I want, okay, sustainable, well, okay. Okay, okay, that's good. Okay, so on this, I have a I have someone that will speak on this. So he is on this call. He just took a project by doing a really by revamping his house and make it renewable. He just go on renewable grid, buying solar and resources. I would want him to even talk more, shed more light on this, how much he spent and how much he has spent if we have subsidies, if they are subsidized, you understand. So, but let me quickly run us through the importance of subsidizing the renewable energy. So one of them, it reduces greenhouse gases. That's one of them. I thought we all say that. It reduces the greenhouse gases. I just made an example about how many cars that we have on our streets at the moment. So then again, combat climate change and whatever other stuff. So I can send this slide to us so that I will not waste our time on this call. So promoting technological advancement. So subsidy for renewable energy can foster research and development, spur innovation and technology advancement, of course. Storage capacity. Now, you know that one thing about this renewable energy is the storage. Actually, the storage is taking more space than it's supposed to. So, but a lot of people are working on this, but then there is no fund to finance this. So, if we have this fund, seed funding, and seed funding, yes, for people to really go into this project, and people are, there's governments are subsidizing this. A lot of research will have gone into this. So, enhancing energy security and independence. Currently, thanks to the Nigerian government, they say that the energy generating, they made it to leave the exclusive list. It's now concurrent, that is the state cannot generate, or anybody at most can generate energy. Do you understand? So the state now can generate, they can look at what benefits them. Like in Enugu State rather, it's very, very windy. Why can't we go into using the wind energy, or they use wind to generate energy in this part of the world? We have where we have water, that's hydro, you understand? So, but then there is no money to really, really go into this. So we need this to be subsidized. So job creation, when we have money, when people can access funds, when people can access funds at no interest or low interest rates, people will have, there will be job creation, there will be growth, the economy will grow. So those are the benefits of the subsidy, of subsidizing the renewable energy. Then encouraging sustainable consumer choices. When you know that you can actually get solar panel, you can get electric vehicle, you can get all this. Of course, your choice will be impacted. You want to make a very conscious choice by going renewable. And this will have a good effect on the environment and on the climate. Yeah, and meeting climate goals. Just a couple of years ago, Nigeria said by 2060, they will cut their carbon emission by 60%. We're looking at how possible that is. So we are here, you understand? So we are waiting for that to happen. So quickly, I want Daniel to speak about the project he embarked on recently in Port Harcourt, how much it cost that. So then I'll now take us through sustainable development goals. Daniel, please.
Yes. So good evening, everyone. My name is Daniel Anofeme. So I'm just trying to give you a breakdown of the project I did. So we have like short time, so I don't be taking much of your time. I hope, can you guys hear me? If you can hear me, just mention on the chat, so I'll be like, yes. So okay, can you hear me? So the thing is, I sort of had money, I had savings. I saved for about 10 months, and I was figuring a way to solve the challenge of electricity because where I stay in Port Harcourt, and it's not the place I stay is not somewhere that we have regular light. So currently, say for 4 days, there has not been any NEPA light, and I knew that the new administration is going to remove fuel subsidy. So there was nowhere where fuel will become fuel was going to become more expensive, and the power issue in Nigeria is not something that I'm sure they are fixing anytime soon. Like I'm not sure in the next 20 years we're going to solve the whole 24 hours electricity problem. So I had this money that I've been saving for a while, and I decided to be like, okay, let me do this. So before that, I said I had to like do my research because I've heard a lot of comments from Nigerians. People will be like, this person puts inverter, say they last before the battery will die, that kind of thing and all. And there was this guy, or this man rather, anyone on Twitter, Big Over, that I'm a fan of. So I follow him, his threads, and he has like this whole setup. He stays off grid. He's not connected to the Nigerian electricity powering source and all. He powers his whole electricity. Every single thing he uses, he powers everything in his house, his ACs, every single thing, and he has like lots of things. And so I was like, I've been shadowing him, and there's this community for solar DIY. So I joined, and I made a lot of research. So there are like useful videos you could watch. There were help from the community members who asked questions and everything. And so I got to discover like the whole component. So if other people spoke about things like even wind generation, but we found out that it's easier to generate from solar because for solar you can predict that, okay, this place will always have this average amount of sunshine and this place always have this amount of sunshine. But for wind-based energy, you have to like really be close to the coastal regions to be able to have something like that. And it's not really stable because you can't really predict how the wind goes, because wind data we have in the world is currently not stable, but there's like a good amount of solar rays you get data on that. And so I decided to go with solar renewable energy, and I found that it was actually cheaper than I thought. So the whole issue with it is the upfront cost, because it costs in range of like thousands and millions. That's the problem. But the truth about it is that you would get back that money within 2 years of setting it up. That was the thing. So the project, the one I did, is it took roughly 1.8 million. I know, yeah, this is a big amount per se, but when you do the cost estimate breakdown for buying fuel for that amount, like running fuel for 6 hours a day for 365 times 2, that's for 2 years, you find out that you're going to spend at least 3.5 million. And this is not adding maintenance of the generator and the generator cost itself. So we have this issue whereby we're looking at just, okay, we spend 10K a day, 10K a day, 10K a day. Before you know it's amounting to a big something. So what I discovered was that it was not as expensive as I thought. So the issue was there are different parts. So let me mention the different parts that make up the setup. So first and foremost, there's the inverter. I got a hybrid inverter. So there are different types of inverters, but the best for you to get is a hybrid inverter. Hybrid inverter means when there is NEPA light, it can charge the batteries, and when there's the solar, the PV, that is the solar, it charges it too. And that's the inverter. On that thing to get is the batteries. So the whole misconception around batteries because of our lack of maintenance culture. So there are two popular types of batteries. We have acid or tabular or AGM gel batteries, which are the popular ones. Those ones that you see in some people's house or setups. You see like 4 of
Sorry.
them.
Sorry, Dan. So all these, are they cheap? Because
are they
cheap? You are saying as if you can just go to market and just get me that.
Okay, that's the thing. The problem is they are not cheap. That's the issue. And I think that's where the whole issue of having subsidy on renewable energy is quite important, because we have this problem. We know that we have this problem of light power or like we're not generating enough power. So if the government could find a way to make subsidized renewable energy for people, it stands to mean acceptance for people, because many people actually want to get these things in their house, but the whole problem is the funds to do it. That's like the whole problem. So if they are able to bring subsidy in that way, in the sense of spreading payment. So let's say if it's a setup of like 2 million, the government is covering 1.5 million. I know it might sound big, but this is an energy problem. Like the government could decide to come to this community and set up a solar farm to power this whole community, that kind of thing. Just that so far, we've not been really seeing government investing in renewable energy. So they have mostly been focusing on other ways. I don't think the dam is fully functional, but what I believe is that they should find ways to like subsidize it so that people would be more welcoming to it. Because at times it's not something that you would want to risk that amount to try, because you'll be like, what if I do this and it now doesn't work? Because we are used to generators work. But the problem is that how long will they work? Because we have these issues of the noise the generator. The noise is something else. The noise pollution is something else. Even the gas that comes out from it. We've seen cases of families going to sleep and they did not wake up. Why? Something gen was on and it got into their house and they died. Like we've seen families wiped out in the news. So that's this me sharing my story and all. I think maybe I'll send the link to the article. I wrote an article on it on the group so everybody can see, because we don't have like much time. So thank you for having me.
All right, but don't go yet anyway.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, so you said that you spend 1.8 million naira.
Yes.
All right. So now, this 1.8 million naira, it covers the inverter, it covers the solar panel, it covers the lightning, the components. Yeah.
Yes. Or
Now,
covers the installation too.
covers the installation and the workmanship, right?
Yes.
So, quick one, everybody. I want us to speak something. We are only talking about solar energy at this point. We have other sources of energy. Now, the wind, the thermal, the biofuel, I don't know how those will cost, how much those cost. The reason why I'm looking at this 1.8 million brain is that now solar energy is in demand. Do you understand? A lot of people are now like they are okay. Anything, if they are talking about renewable, the only thing that comes to their head is solar energy. They don't believe or they don't know about other renewable energies. Now, even at that rate, we are still spending close to 1.8 million naira just to power. And this will give you how many hours of light then, what voltage and what can it carry and stuff. Just a room or 2 hours of building.
Okay, so it's a 24 volt system. So it's able to power, like my ACs are not connected, the ACs in the house. And so I did it to my family house. It's a 4-bedroom flat. And I only got a 160 amp battery, which gives me about 4,000 and I think 96 watts per hour. So in the end, let's say on average use, it lasts for, let's say, 8 hours. So, but on days where there is, on days when there's not like full sunlight and everything, and I might just like manage it. But if it's a period whereby the sun is shining quite, we're in rainy season, so the sun is not giving too much. But if it's a period whereby there's enough sunshine, it's able to like from around 12, the sun is like at a good place. So it's able to carry the load from 12 down to, let's say, like 5, where the sunlight reduces. And then the battery load is able to carry other things towards 12 a.m. So it's enough for roughly 12 hours of use a day, at least, yeah.
Thank you for that. Now, to be candid, assuming there is a loan or there is a subsidy somewhere, you would have taken it, right?
Yeah.
It's like
assuming there's a
helpful,
subsidy.
Right? there is a subsidy somewhere. Maybe Nigeria, they just say, okay, we have solar panel or we have any other source of energy, renewable energy. We give you this amount, or we do this. You should have this will reduce the burden on you, I guess.
Yes, very much. I would have used the other money to borrow.
Now, I don't know if average Nigeria can even afford that to install any renewable energy in their house at this moment.
To be honest, the average Nigerian cannot. That's the problem.
Do you understand? And it took you your savings, probably your savings. So, and it's because you are not married and you don't have children. And you are single.
And I don't have a babe too.
And you're single. So now the reason why I invited him, Green is because he just took on this project. And he's a plugger, by the way, from UNN.
From UNN.
So he just graduated and he just took up this project as his own to reward himself. And it's a very, very wonderful. If you have gotten a car and be contributing to the whole emission, you get, then say, or get a generator set, and but because of the petrol and all this stuff. So the reason why we are here is that the subsidy is not bad in entirety. There are some things that the government should subsidize. One of them is the renewable energy. They are not supposed to subsidize fossil fuel as they've been doing. Do you understand? They are not supposed to subsidize anything that would detriment the climate change. And that is why we have climate finance and green bond. But Nigeria government, they've not been able to tap into this. That's why we are where we are. In Europe, Germany to be precise, for you using solar energy, you get commission, you get paid. You get something, but not in Nigeria. They even tax. The reason why all these components are expensive is because of the tax they put on them. When you're import, we're not making solar panel in Nigeria. We're not making the battery.
Yeah, we're importing everything.
Yeah, thank you. We are importing all this, and they put tax excessively on this. So if you are leaving this place, I want you to leave one thing. We need subsidy, but the subsidy must channel right to renewable energy. Now we are talking about, we are just using solar energy to discuss. We are looking at biogas now that we can get free, like maintain, like biogas from the food waste, from our toilet, from where this. But then the component to make this thing work to generate energy is not there. It's not here. And if you want to have it, you will pay through your use. So our encouragement now is that as we are living, as we are rounding this segment, this session, so rounding it off, I wanted to have it in mind that subsidy is very, very good for some commodities, for some services. And of course, it is very, very, very bad for some commodities. And one of them is this fossil fuel subsidy. Thank God that they just removed it. I hope it doesn't find its way back so that we can all see. And I hope our government can provide palliative in provide palliative for renewable energy so that all of us can get off the grid and disconnect to renewable energy. Now hear me out. But then let me ask you, I want us to ask one question. I'm expecting a question from us. Are these good? Are there no other bad effects of this renewable energy? Because I used to argue that can renewable energy solve all our energy problems in Nigeria? I'm asking us since we are not. Yes or no? Can can you put a hotel, 5-star hotel, on a solar panel or on on solar panels, solar energy? Please quickly now so that we can go. This is 9:30 already. By 9:30. Yeah? Can renewable energy solve all our energy problems in Nigeria? Hello? Can you hear me? Yes or no? Can renewable energy solve all our problems, all our energy problems in Nigeria? Even if they should subsidize them. Demand and supply, that here, a lot of demand and supply. But I asked a very valid question. Can Let me put it on the, I don't know that company that produces, Innocent produces car, and I know that it uses a lot of, it uses a lot of energy. Sure. So can he use solar energy or any renewable energy to be producing his car? Now let us look at big companies in Nigeria like that. So that's where I have the problem. So what I'm trying to say here is that even though with this challenge, with this challenge, renewable energy now, you understand, with this challenge, we can still make it. Every day, new research is coming. In fact, they are now having a solar panel that doesn't have to be big, that doesn't have to occupy space, that a solar panel that you can actually roll up and fold and put in your house. And they are developing another source of energy. The research is going on. So, but at the moment, they use generator in Kanjita. I'm sure you know that person. They use generator in Kanjita before that they put this. So the point I'm trying to make at this point is that as time goes on, I'm not saying that renewable energy has come and it's solving all our problems, blah, blah. No, that's not the point I'm making. I'm just saying that we can transit politely and gradually from the fossil fuel to renewable energy. And by the time we know it, in years to come, we will not be depending on fossil fuel to make anything, to even make mass production or to make anything. Now, what they are using to even make the components of the renewable energy are still the fossil fuel at this moment. The solar energy cannot make its solar panels that we all need in this world, cannot make these batteries that over 50 million Nigerians we use. Do you understand? So, but then we can do it gradually. With this subsidy, with the subsidy on the renewable energy, we can get there. A lot of research can go on and can have it done. It's 9:27, everyone. Thank you, Dan. Thank you so much for coming on board. Thank you, everybody. Gizan, thank you. Gizan Karimas, thank you. So this should be the end of it. And of course, you can all relate this to the Sustainable Development Goals from 1 to 17. So that you can relate, you can bring it out, can talk. And this lecture is not encompassing. I encourage us, I enjoy us to go and do more research on our own, to read more, to read wide, and make reasonable conclusion. I'm just here to instigate you, to instigate your thoughts, to instigate your thinking. So please, you can go ahead on your private to read more about renewable energy and how subsidy can actually help millions of Nigeria. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Jisama Yodeji. Thank you, Mr. Dan. Thank you. We are glad to have you. I actually enjoyed the session. Thank you. Please let's appreciate them in the comment section. Thank you. And please let's go back to our WhatsApp page. Oh, we still have some other things to discuss tonight before we end the day. Thank you.